So grab a big spoon and put it on loop. Serve freshly to you, it's Ben and Ham soup. So freshly to you, it's Ben and Ham soup.
This is season 2, episode 1. It's been a hot minute. It's been a little while.
When was the last one?
Well, the last one, I believe, was circa... We definitely did a Valentine's Day podcast in February of 2012. So I think the last episode went up around the end of February 2012.
Okay.
It's been 12 and a half years.
I went to England the following month.
Well, you went to England on April the 1st, actually. It
Right.
felt like an April Fool's joke to me.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to
just a coincidence.
just turn around and say it's all a joke. I'm not
like a rom-com. The next day I show up at your house. I didn't go anywhere.
I got arrested. I was running through the airport, and apparently they don't allow you to just go through customs.
Yeah.
I did visit you. I came over to London in 2012.
Yes.
I couldn't wait until you were meant to come back in December.
You just checked on me.
And
How's it going?
I popped over to England in the August of 2012. Still holding out hope that you might return in December which was the original plan.
Yeah.
You didn't return in that December. In fact, you spent another 12 Decembers there.
Yeah. Yeah. Bit of an adventure though for me.
It was. You initially went presuming that you would have to be a baker for the best part of 7 months.
Yes, but sometime before I left, I got a job in game design, my first job.
Turned down a job in radio with me for it.
We did one.
Delayed our entry into radio by a significant amount of time.
Yes, to prop up my game development career, though.
To prop it up. It's propped.
That's a win.
It's propped. But the foundation has been laid.
Yeah.
Bigger and better things, shall we say?
Sure.
I would go as far to say that.
I may have peaked.
But we're still below the ocean surface on our career in, let's just say, entertainment.
We're like a submarine, just below the surface, ready to pounce.
Do submarines pounce?
Yeah.
We're an amphibious submarine.
Yes, exactly.
An amphibious vehicle ready to burst forth out of the ocean.
Yep.
And claim what's ours,
Yes.
rightfully ours. Yes, so you ducked over to England. You were taken over there by your girlfriend at the time, who used to introduce the podcast.
Yep.
You were only going over for a couple of months.
Yep. Yeah, but I stayed there. I was in London for like 3.5 years. Got another job in the Midlands of England. The job was nice. Location, a bit boring. But I stayed there for like 7+ years.
In the Midlands?
In the Midlands. And then COVID hit, obviously. So I was, a little stranded there. And then after COVID, I think I was ready, And each time I visited Melbourne throughout those years, I was like...
The pool got greater,
pretty
you
good.
said.
Yeah, every time I was like, it's a bit harder to go back to England. It's a bit hard to leave. And I think on the last time I was here before I actually moved back to Melbourne, I was like, I could just stay here. I could just not get on that plane.
You said that to me,
Yeah.
and
that was like partially serious.
and I took it seriously because I think I did say I think you should just stay. I said I'll help you. We'll organise to get your stuff shipped back over. I drew up a resignation letter for you.
You sent it on my behalf without consulting me.
It created a couple of problems for him. He then had to show up to work a la George Costanza and say he didn't quit. It was difficult. You then did break the news that you were going to return, probably for one last time. I contemplated Chappelle Corbying you and putting some marijuana in your boogie bag, just so you might get picked up at the airport.
For all the boogie boarding I do in England.
That's right.
In the Midlands.
In the Midlands.
Furthest from the coast in anywhere in the country.
There's probably nothing else to do there. Why not add it to the list? But I couldn't do it to you, mate. I had to let you spread your wings.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
Knowing
and now
eventually
I've come home to a roost.
And roost you shall.
Yes,
roost we shall.
I am.
We've got eggs that we're sitting on
Yes.
right now.
And they're ready to pounce.
They're chirping. They're ready to hatch. I can feel them cracking. It's an uncomfortable feeling I've got.
Yeah.
No, it's been a long 12 and a half years. But I feel like we're now in a position where you and I as people
We've got the life experience now.
are ready to accept that level of fame, fortune, and adulation.
Yeah. We need the money.
We desperately need the money. So we're looking for any and all sponsorships. Seriously. Doesn't matter. Would there be any low that we would not sink to? Is there someone we wouldn't take money from?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, here's the thing. If it's someone, people say, oh, you couldn't possibly get sponsored by them. We're taking their money. We're making them poorer.
True.
So I think it's win-win. We can do no wrong.
But we would also be advertising for them to our audience.
There's certain lengths we will not go to, but
what's the ideal sponsor for you?
The ideal sponsor,
just for fun.
What's a sponsorship that I think would be perfect for us?
Well, for you,
for me,
I would love
Qantas,
Nintendo. That would be cool.
Nintendo. Well, you're already in the games industry. You're sort of games industry adjacent. So
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah, you are.
Is it worth saying I still have my job?
Well, I suppose the job's always a hobby.
Yeah.
It's just a paid hobby.
Yeah.
This is an unpaid primary gig.
Okay.
I'm just saying in terms of priorities.
Yeah.
Let's just get it straight.
Okay.
And in terms probably of talent. Let's not lie. This is the peak. Okay. Do we need to say anything else? For our old listeners and for new listeners, some segments that we did in season 1, some greats are returning. We got some banter.
True. And we'll just come up with random shit as we think of it.
I tell you what, he
it
sells it well, doesn't he? Let me tell you, thank God he's in games design. Entertainment, I don't know.
That's the thing. I'm not...
Sales, we're in trouble if he's trying to... Let me sell the podcast, Hamish. If you're pitching to the sponsors...
Here's the thing. Ben is a natural here, okay? I'm out of my element. He's had to, wrestle me in here, tie me down.
All right, hang on a second. That sounds a little... And he was lubed up, so it was fucking hard to wrestle him in here. Let me tell you, getting a hold of him, he was slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, look, it's I'm trying my best, and I'll continue to do so. But I am at the end of the day computer nerd, computer IT game designer, and this is not my my.
All right, mate, fantastic. Everyone's switched off. How about rather than talk about just how shit you are, mate? Let's just take a step back.
Yeah.
Let's just have a moment of appreciation and let's say we're bloody good at what we do, and that's serve up some gourmet soup.
All right.
He's on board, boys and girls. Let's go. All right. Why not? Because it's just so apt, I think, to start with our first segment. The FFOTD, the one and the only, the fun fact of the day.
I feel so underprepared for this. That's my lunch break. I need to go to a dentist soon. I haven't checked my fact.
Can I just say, 13 years later, nothing has changed. And I say this with such confidence. I listened back to season 1. You were never sure of your fact. Most of your facts came from Ali, your girlfriend at the time. God rest her soul. She's
fine.
They came from Tom, your big brother, little Tom. And sometimes you just got them from the internet. But rarely were they fact checked. Okay?
Correct.
Now, you did the fun fact. You went first every time.
Really?
Because we kept doing scissors, paper, rock, and you lost every single time.
Really?
Yeah, it was very enjoyable for me.
12 times? 12 episodes?
Sometimes you complained that you had volunteered to go first. And I said, well, I don't need to volunteer. Let's just scissors, paper, rock. And you lost. And then I checked the next one and you lost and you lost and you lost. Then for some reason, after 4 losses, you volunteered to go first one time, I think because you were confident. And then we did another one and you lost that too.
Okay. Well, now we know that things are different because the other day when we got pizza, we did scissors, paper, rock 6 times in a row. And it was a draw every time.
It was a draw every time. But out of interest, who won eventually when we did the tiebreaker?
Yeah, you did. But I'm just saying. It's not
There's a lot of just sayings.
Cut and dry.
I'm just saying I did win. Fun fact of the day, I think we should scissors, paper, rock to see who wants to go first.
Okay.
All right.
Ben's won again. So wait.
13 years later, I got to say, good old rock. Nothing beats rock.
I didn't think it through. Put on the spot. You had time to prepare.
13 years of preparing.
Yeah.
I knew Hamish would choose scissors. Poor, predictable Hamish. Fun fact of the day, please. Go ahead.
All right. Like I say, I read half an article. It was interesting, but
Just so everyone at home knows, Hamish really puts his heart and soul into the pod for all our soup listeners.
I didn't realize we were doing this today. So
he had no idea when he woke up and we'd planned and he'd driven over here to record that we'd actually be doing it. Go on.
So, did you know that there is such thing as a male period?
What do you want yours, eh?
Well, I believe probably we both could be.
I know. They do say best girlfriends can have their periods sync up. I've heard that.
Yeah, true.
Are you saying our male periods have synced up?
Well, I think it's more. Let me just explain. This is what the article said. Okay, that was the headline, and it felt a bit like clickbait, and I think actually it is. But if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for my fact. It's actually talking about the hormone cycle of men, and it lasts for, I can't remember if it was like 90 minutes every day. But what happens is, like, at the start of the day, your testosterone is higher, and at the end of the day, it's lower. And so you've got this hormonal cycle that happens every day, and they were saying like that can be considered as like similar to a period because it's a hormonal cycle. And there's stuff like your balls can be heavier at different times of the day because of this.
Mine do occasionally get suddenly lighter.
That could be it. You could weigh them before and after.
I wonder if there is a reasonable way to weigh. I guess if you squatted down, I could squat down over like your coffee scales,
yeah,
because they're accurate to the gram.
Exactly. To 0.1 of a gram.
To 0.1 of a gram.
Yeah. If you did the same squat, you could. I think that would be accurate enough. You know, maybe you could try that as get back to us and how you went with it.
We're doing it live on video. Ben and Hamster.
You can use your own scales.
So the fun fact of the day is that you really did clickbait us by saying men have periods.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, what you're saying is we just have
a hormonal cycle.
A hormonal cycle
with interesting happenings within that cycle.
Interesting happening. Very vague, very broad. I like it. Yeah. You can't necessarily be right.
Well, that's why I'm a little upset that you didn't give me a heads up to read the article again and tell you more.
Give me the heads up.
The standout like points to me is that the balls weighed a different amount throughout the day.
I think that's a fun fact. I've got a fun fact for you.
By the way, again, a little unfair. You've had 13 years thinking about this. I just found that one the other day, read it once, read half the thing, came in today, I was surprised.
To be fair, I just found this morning as well. I haven't done as much research as you would think. Okay. But I think this is quite a fun fact. Male porcupines, in order to make baby porcupines, mate with female porcupines. Now, that's not the fun fact. You can imagine it's not always the easiest thing to do, to mate with a female porcupine.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. And that is true still. They do have to voluntarily retract their little needles around their vaginal opening in order to allow the porcupine to have a crack.
I'm surprised there's spines down there.
Well, it makes sense. Good addition, really.
Isn't there a horror movie like that?
Vagina dentata. I think it's called Teeth.
Teeth.
For humans, yeah. There is, but they haven't invented those yet, or there's no evolution in humans yet. In porcupines, there are. In order for the male porcupine to get the female into estrus or heat, they climb a tree and urinate on the female. They absolutely they spray urine over them. Like they coat them like the 4th of July. It is a golden shower party. That.
I was going to ask, is this, are they sure it's not a fetish for that one particular one they looked at?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've got a little article here. It says, the male porcupine rears up on its hind legs, walks towards the female with a fully erect penis, if they're lucky.
The female with a fully erect penis.
Walks towards the female. They should have a comma there. The Oxford comma is important. Walks towards the female with his own fully erect penis and proceeds to soak her in urine and spray with a spray forceful enough to shoot 6 feet.
Hang on. But he didn't climb a tree?
Even more amazing, it's been witnessed in a tree canopy, a male firing off salvos from one branch at a female on another.
Sorry, a male firing off salvos?
Salvos.
What's that?
Shots. Like a salvo of cannon fire. Like a...
Oh, okay.
Right. Pretty incredible. And so what that does is the female, she gets aroused by all this urine.
Mm-hmm.
Would you believe it? It gets her in the mood. She releases her musk. She retracts her spindles. Open sesame. And that is how porcupines mate. Not only part of sex, but a requirement for it. What do you think?
I can believe it. It's not the weirdest thing. It's like
You're-
it's a messy business at the best of times.
Sex in general, you mean?
Yeah.
Or urinating?
Well, both.
You
So
get down
what-
and
yeah,
dirty,
what's the
don't you, you
difference?
filthy dog?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
Pretty fun.
Would you ever think about
I think-
introducing that into your repertoire?
Look, if I feel the need for it, I could consider it, but I don't think I'll need to. I thought you were going to say they climb the tree and like jump down.
I tell you what, if you jumped from a tree to try and land in and you just missed by a small margin,
Yeah. It's risky.
you could be porcupine no more.
Hey, I was walking in here earlier. We're in Ben's office right now. Ben's studio, sorry.
I was actually pretty impressed. I was happy with office. I would have taken office. I'm very happy with studio.
Yeah. Well, look at this place. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, just coming in, looking around. I see your lunch out there.
This feels like a personal attack. I feel unprepared. I feel like a turtle.
No, I feel.
I feel like
coming into this den.
I feel like a turtle on its back and a wolf has just walked in.
Yeah. Well, then what you got fish and chips for lunch? That's what
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get fish and chips for lunch. I got fish
Potato?
and a potato cake for lunch.
That's splitting hairs. I got
I just
potato,
said-
not chips.
Yeah.
It just made me think of. I think it was first week of the year. So like the 2nd of January, and we were just walking through, and we're like, "Man, we're not doing much exercise. We're eating the shit." and you were like,
I know you're gonna say-
you know what? We should not eat any deep fried food this year. And I was like, "That's a good idea. I can do that. I think we should do that together. And if we're both not doing that, we'll get through it easy." And then you're like, "All right, let's go get some chips."
No, that's not
It was
what
something like that.
It was my birthday's on the 1st.
It was like
We went out-
immediately, literally that same conversation. I think we were walking through a bottle shop. We started the conversation and you were already like, "All right, let's get some chips." And I'm like, well, fucking what's the point? And then
I had forgotten. In my defense, I'd forgotten by the time I got to that part of the sentence what I just said. And then we went out for brunch. I think we went to the place on Chapel Street. We sat down and we got some fries. And I said, we had to get fries because it's my birthday. And you were like, all right, that's fair.
I think that would be fair.
That was the first of the first. So it was literally the first day of the new year. And you were like, this is an exception.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was not the exception. It was the rule. Chips were back on the menu. To be fair, I've been a lot more healthy.
Yeah.
It's also, I don't know about you, we've both been very good with our cooking, I think.
Totally. I'm not trying to criticize your diet here.
Well,
I just remember
if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, mate.
That agreement I think we both will agree, went out the window a long time ago. I just thought it was funny that because in my memory, you said, let's do it. And like that same day, you're like, well, no, I'm getting something today. I didn't mean like starting now. I'm like, well, it's like to me, it completely defeated the purpose of agreeing to it or wanting to do it.
Yeah, but I think to be fair to me, it sounds like a really good thing to do. To not eat deep fried food for a year.
Totally.
But in practice, it's so much harder.
Mm.
Like in theory, you know, if you're a drug addict, you should just stop taking drugs.
I don't live near a fish and chip store like you, and I'm not best mates with the owner of that fish and chip store. So my diet, I don't have that very often.
Yeah.
I only have chips, I guess, when you or someone else around me buys chips. So I would do it if I lived by myself. If I was the last man on earth, I'd be deep fried free.
Yeah, right. Well,
but
unfortunately, I'm just too popular and I have to do the rounds. I feel obligated to catch up with people, you know?
You had a grilled fish burger. You were saying that how good that was.
Yeah, I went off the grilled fish burgers because I was trying to be healthy.
You went off them.
Well, I was
to
still
be healthy.
Yeah, I was still getting grilled. Now I just get grilled fish with chips, but the burger comes with chips as well.
You could ask for no chips.
Yeah, well, I could.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can't
well,
go.
Yeah, and you do.
I
That's
just
fine.
have a grilled
That's fine.
Look, to be fair, they offer me rice, grilled fish and rice. They offer me grilled fish and salad, but it's easier just to say grilled fish and chips. It's quicker. It's easier.
That's the worst excuse. That it's easier to say it. A grilled fish burger with rice would be all right.
I'm sure it would be. I haven't tried it.
Okay. Should we agree no more deep fried food from now until the end of the year?
That's
not that far.
That's a big call. We're
How
recording today.
Like September?
Today is September 11th today.
Holy shit.
In Australia. I tell you what, that'd be two terrible things to happen on September 11th. They got us 23 years ago. They're getting us again if we're not having deep fried food for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
There should be a memorial to the chips that will go uneaten by Ben and Ham.
Well, how about it? Should we do it?
Let's shake on it.
Can't reach. All right.
Let's see how the year pans out. Shall we do a segment? Yeah?
Surprise me.
Surprise you. I bet you didn't expect me not to say anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
All right. We're going to do the deal breaker.
Okay.
The deal breaker, she's perfect in every way, or he, to anyone playing along at home. They, them. You are, you are. You're perfect in every way, Ham.
He looked at me in the eye when he said that.
It's all right. It didn't move. Each week we've got to come up with the description of someone who is perfect in every single fathomable way, except for one.
One thing.
Would they be perfect for you? Would you date them? Would you marry them? Would you be with them?
Except for that one thing, which would be a deal breaker.
Well, that's the question. Is it or is it not a deal breaker?
Do you have one prepared?
I've got one for you. I think it's a timely one.
Okay, interesting.
She's perfect in every single way.
Mm-hmm.
Every single other way other than the way in which I'm about to describe, but she's perfect in every way.
Yep.
She's an 11 out of 10. Looks, kind, funny.
Of course, purely hypothetical.
Smart.
If I didn't already have a girlfriend, I would be considering.
But what if she came along? You could have a better one. I gave you the opportunity to say a better one couldn't come along, Matt. You didn't say it.
Well, that was my meaning and my groans.
Okay, all right. Yes. All right. Well, let Shoko decide whether that passes the sniff test.
Okay.
She's perfect in every single way. You come home, you go to sleep, you wake up almost in pain at just how perfect she is.
Okay.
But she's a MAGA supporter. She's a Trump supporter. She wears Trump 2024 red hats around the house. She thinks the election was stolen. Everything that he does is perfect.
Okay. First of all, I'll ask you, what do you think my answer is?
Well, see, this one's a light one. It's not as harsh as some of the ones that you've thrown me before. There may be some Trump supporters listening to the soup right now thinking, what's the catch?
Yeah.
And to you, we say, you're also valued members of the community. Anyone can listen to us. We do not care. We take you all. And Haim loves you all. I love most of you. Haim loves you all. They're probably more your demographic, mate.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. We will see. We're about to see.
Yep.
I think you'd probably say it's not a problem. I think you would say that's not a deal breaker. In fact, I know that that's not a deal breaker for you. I think. I truly believe that's not a deal breaker.
My gut says it is.
So,
Because, okay,
you said some of your deal breakers are running through my head that I can't even tell people how bad they are.
but this thing is like, it permeates life. You know, you said she's wearing a red hat all the time. There's red hats all around the house.
Yeah.
It's like finding a hairpin somewhere. It's like, fuck, it's another red hat. It's just gonna always be there. And if she tones it down at home, you can like block it out. But every time you go out with friends or family or something, it's just gonna be arguments and stress and disagreements and all this stuff. I can't be dealing with that. That's a deal breaker.
She's perfect in every way. She just doesn't mind if you grab her by the pussy. Deal breaker. You're saying that's a deal breaker. Episode 1, you've eradicated a small percentage of our listener base.
Look, I have to be honest, and that's what I'm doing.
All right.
I think it is.
All right. Fantastic.
Sorry.
I think that's really harsh.
What about you?
I'm shocked. Me? Of course I fucking wouldn't. What do you think? This is AI Decides. We throw it open to ChatGPT. We're helping the listeners out there, the ones that need a little bit of help with the women.
Yep.
Definitely not you or me.
We'll see about that.
What does that mean?
When you hear my line.
No, I see what you're saying. I agree. We probably both need a bit of help.
Okay.
Who has the best pickup line? Now, sometimes we have polls. Sometimes we have a gentlemanly agreement. But this time, we're letting the brilliance and the geniusness of artificial intelligence tell us who is the winner.
I like it. This is a good use of AI.
I think so.
Opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you go as far to say this is what it was built for?
I don't know what it was built for.
Surely they're going to take the rails off those video creations and it's just going to be making porn.
I guess
the internet was made for porn, so surely artificial intelligence is going to get co-opted. How are we going to decide who goes first on this one? What about a scissors, paper, rock?
Another one.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me think about it first. Okay, I'm ready. We've had a draw. Hang on, I'm starting again. Ready? Yes.
This is the first time in 14 years I've lost.
So do I get to choose who goes or you go first?
I think you can choose. I think I'm going to give you, because at least that way you can choose to go first.
Okay.
If you win, you deserve to.
I think you go
choose.
first.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to do this live, so I'm going to have to type this in as we speak. Hello, ChatGPT. Do you find that I find when I type, I don't know if you even use any LLMs or
is that an AI? I've never used it.
So I find when I type to ChatGPT, I'm always like, hello, I need a little bit of help, ChatGPT. I'm always
polite.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just, I guess.
Yeah, it's in your nature.
Yeah, it's also partly if they take over. I hope ChatGPT remembers. Oh, Benny Boy was always nice to his artificial friends. Hello, ChatGPT. I'm with a friend doing a podcast. We have...
Gentlemanly agreement?
We have a gentlemanly agreement. We are both submitting pickup lines to you, and you have to decide which one is the best.
Gentleman's bet, I think, is the better term.
A gentlemanly wager.
There you go.
They are as follows.
Okay.
Number 1. Now, my pickup line, I think, is it's strong. It's bold. It gets to the point quite quickly. But it will filter out anyone that's kind of not interested in you, I think. So It's got pros, it's got cons. I acknowledge that. My pickup line is, I hope you like dragons, because I'll be dragging my balls across your face tonight.
Right.
Do you like dragons? I'm going to rephrase it. Do you like dragons?
Then that's it.
Because I'll be dragging my balls across your face tonight. Now, I'm not sure if this is against ChatGPT's rules, but hopefully it understands the pun. Hopefully it doesn't ban me. Hamish?
Yep.
Hit me.
Well, you said yours was shortened to the point.
Yes.
Mine's even shorter.
I've heard that.
Nice. So this is one that Shoko and I use on each other when we pick each other up if we're waiting.
Okay.
Like if
it's not a literal pickup line, I hope. It's not like, do you?
No.
Okay.
But it's like a running joke.
Okay.
And she'll come up and be like, "Got the time?" And that's it.
Got the time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. That's what I'm going with.
All right. Let's see.
Only because it allows for conversation to arise from it.
Don't read. Let me read this to you.
Okay.
Between those two, the first one is definitely bold, crass, and humorous in a very direct way, while the second one, got the time, is simple, leaving room for interpretation or follow-up. It depends on the setting you're going for.
Yeah.
But for pure creativity and impact, the first line is more memorable. However, if you're going for smoothness and subtlety, the second one has more charm. For fun factor and surprise, I'd say the first one wins.
Okay, that's cool. We could leave it there. However, I would just for the future, I think we should adjust how we approach this because we know the AI can sometimes be wrong and change its mind. So I propose
yes.
We say...
So I've already won. We'll acknowledge that because we haven't... This is the rules.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I think we add an additional layer to this where we say, here's a pickup line, rate it out of 10. Here's another one, rate it out of 10. And then put them both together and say which one's better and get explanation. Then if, for example, if your one gets higher out of 10 and it agrees, then I think that's an open and closed case right there.
All right. Here we go. It's actually got... I didn't even make any in-depth prompts like give it a guideline for how to rate it. I just wrote, can you rate them both out of 10? Sure, here's how I'd rate both. Do you like dragons? Because I'll be dragging my balls across your face tonight. Creativity, 8 out of 10. Boldness, 10 out of 10, which is true. Charm, 2 out of 10. Humor, 7 out of 10. Overall, 6 out of 10. So it took a lot of points off for that charm out of 2.
As it should.
I think got the time.
Where's the creep factor?
It's built into the really low level of charm.
Okay.
Got the time. Creativity, 4 out of 10. Boldness, 3 out of 10. Charm, 7. Humor, 3. Overall, 5.
There's not much humor there. I can admit that.
Let's be honest. We know there's not. So I think for the inaugural AI Decides,
yep,
we're dragging balls, mate.
Okay. Well, you are. I'm not doing it.
Blind taste test. It's a good one. It's a goodie. Chockies.
Chalky, yeah.
Yummy chockies.
Dark chalky.
Dark chockies.
Which I think you'll agree I've changed your mind on in recent times. Mm-hmm.
Chocolate. I am a milk chocolate fan.
Yes.
I am more of a 30%er.
Mm-hmm.
Even willing to go to 50%.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been trying to persuade me to go to 70. I've liked the 70s. You gave me one recently that was, I think, only 5 or 10% higher.
Yeah.
And I worked it out.
I think it was 76% or something.
With this tongue.
Yeah.
This palate.
Yes. This is that experienced tongue of yours.
Well, I've been given a lot of compliments about it over the years. It works well in a culinary sense, and it determined that. And out of that was born the blind taste test. What we've got for you today, check online for the comparison pictures, the exact flavours and ingredients. We've got one Lindt chocolate, which surprisingly is actually the El Cheapo.
Mm.
We're comparing
Lint's not that bad. I used to get that. And occasionally I still do. But then the other one is a local chocolatier, Cisco Chocolates, which I found recently, and they're amazing. Like, their stuff is amazing.
Okay.
Fruity and all sorts.
So we should be able to determine the difference. We are doing expensive versus inexpensive. So this is going to be just like, can sommeliers really tell apart cheap wine from top shelf wine? The chocolate sommeliers like you and myself, if we can so self-describe ourselves as such, can we determine the difference between top shelf chocolate and just the average run-of-the-mill Lindt chockies? Now, I don't know what you've come in at. I will tell you this Lindt chocolate, we got 100 grams of it. Now, I do believe it was 50% off, which brought it into a very affordable range.
$4 or $5?
It was $3.25. The original price would have been $7 for 100 grams. So obviously that's $70 a kilo. It came down to $32.50. You haven't told me how much Cisco cost.
Yes. Well, that was a little jar, also 100 grams. Not half price, unfortunately. $14 for the jar.
Oh, that's not that expensive.
Yes.
That's kind of...
It's a small jar. Well, how much do you want it to be? It's not fucking... What's that gold shit? The gold leafing on it? It doesn't have that on it.
I think next time we probably have to go halvesies and try and find something with a little bit more disparity. I mean, that is a 50% price difference. So it should be... That's a lot. To be honest, $15 for 100 grams. That's 100... So it's $150 a kilo versus $32.50. Let's put it in perspective. It's not that bad. I jumped the gun.
But if you remember, we also were looking at the cheapest chocolate that we could find, which at the time was more expensive at full price than the half price Lindt.
Yeah, even the cooking chocolate from Woolworth's own home brand was $4.
At the time, this was the cheapest.
This was the cheapest.
But I also think this makes a more interesting taste test because they could be kind of close. So let's see.
That's the sound of two sexy spoons. Now, Haim, you're going to go first, I think.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I need a blindfold.
Okay, let me get you a blindfold.
Okay, you got one lying around?
Maybe. Hang on, stay there. I don't fucking know.
We chopped it up to look and feel in our mouths as close to the same as possible.
Yep, so we've got a really good mouthfeel. Hamish is currently making a makeshift blindfold with a scarf.
Are you going to feed me?
Can you see?
I can't see anything. My eyes are closed. This is really just holding my eyes closed.
Fantastic. All right, so let me take these bowls of chocolate. Let me mix them around. Let me take... All right, we got 1 spoon of chocolate. I'm going to be coming over to your microphone in a second. You're going to get 1 mouthful of this chocolate coming up.
Oh, okay, I've got the bowl.
Do you want me to feed you?
Give me the spoon.
Okay. No, I don't want you to drop it. I'm going to have to feed you.
I'm not going to drop it.
I'm going to feed you.
Trust me, I
I'm
won't drop
coming
it.
in. Open wide.
Okay, got it.
Give me the tasting notes. Give me the explanations.
Okay. Actually, at Cisco, I'm going to do this for both, but they recommend you let it melt naturally in your mouth to taste all the flavors. So I'm doing that. Seems complex. I didn't identify any particular fruits, but there was complexity and a bit of fruitiness, good mouthfeel. It melted well, but I think I need to compare to the other one.
Well, compared to the other one, you shall.
Do I want to say what I think that one is?
Well, I think I can already tell what you think it is.
Which one do I think it is?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Okay.
I'm coming in. Here comes... We are recording this on September 11. Here comes the second play. So, here we go.
Slightly different feel.
Jeez, this is good radio, hearing you talk. This is, I guess, ASMR is taking off.
That one's like less complex, little bit more sweet, which is strange because they're both 70%. It's gone now. I think the first is Cisco.
Uh-huh.
I think the second is Lindt.
Uh-huh.
They're both actually pretty good. I prefer the first, and I think it's Cisco.
Fantastic.
That's what
All
I
right.
think.
You take off your blindfold. I will not reveal the results until
Okay.
I've done it.
Okay.
So there you go, good sir. Let me blindfold myself. Hamish is pretending to lick my spoon. That's all right. You can't catch what you've already got. Okay. I'm ready to receive.
All right, I'm coming to you. Watch out. Here we go.
You give me a lot.
Fine.
Okay.
What do you think?
It's definitely chocolate.
Yep.
I want to make sure you didn't. Oh. Okay.
What didn't I do?
There's a richness and a complexity of flavour that comes and goes. It waxes and it wanes, but there was more waxing than waning there. There was a period where I got a real Cisco vibe to that
Okay.
at some point.
Yeah.
But it could just be a real chocolatey vibe. Where's my glass of water?
Do you want? Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't do that.
Oh, well.
So just try to swallow it. Get the saliva to wash it out.
I don't have anything to compare it to. And like you,
Yeah.
my concern is that I would make a decision and be wrong. Just like you went, what's the point of making a call straight away?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm ready.
All right.
Very different mouthfeel instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt that. Oh, wow.
I did. Yeah.
Very different flavour. Very different flavour. And I'm almost instantly so the issue, I think, for me is I don't know what the tasting notes of the Cisco expensive chocolate is. And therefore,
Neither do I.
this one's a lot simpler. I agree. You made a comment earlier that's now resonating with me that the complexity of flavour isn't there. That 100% has to be the Lindt. And I'm taking the blindfold off now.
Okay. We're back.
Oh, geez. Now, this is going to be
Give me my results.
your results.
Yeah.
You got it wrong.
Really?
You got it wrong.
Really?
100% you got it wrong. Yeah, you were so convinced that you had the Cisco one was a better one.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, you voted for the $3.25 Lindt.
So did you.
Are you kidding me?
No.
The first one's definitely like almost creamier, fruitier. You and I both said that.
Yeah. I couldn't identify the flavors in the specific fruits or flavors in either. But the Lindt one, I guess, felt smoother.
100%. The Cisco one was, whether this was how we've chopped them up, pictures online, a little bit coarser. But absolutely, as soon as I put it into my mouth, I went, this can't be the Cisco
Interesting.
$150 a kilo chocolate.
Interesting.
It cannot be the case.
Here's the thing, though. I'm a little annoyed, actually, that we didn't get it. But they at Cisco, they have like a number of different darks, like I mentioned. So I think this one obviously isn't the best one. I specifically avoided getting the one that I really like because I know it quite well.
Yes.
And it's extremely fruity. You've had that one before.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Crazy that both of us, however, have gone for the $3.25, the $32.50 a kilo over the $150 a kilo. And not only that, we both were pretty emphatic. When I said mine, I was in two minds. I thought, because I knew that you got yours wrong. And so when I said it, I thought either this is funny because I'm so clearly right and you've got it so clearly wrong, which would have surprised me. Yeah. And because of that, I actually thought to myself, chances are I've also got this wrong, which is exactly what
I thought the same. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've got it right. And as you were talking, I was like, oh, he's got it wrong. Fuck, we're idiots.
No.
No, we got to practice.
We're both brilliant. It's the chocolate that's wrong.
True. Yeah.
Sometimes price doesn't equal quality. True. So does it matter? Chocolate, $3.25, $15. Our taste buds say no. Don't worry, Haim. I'm going to handle this entirely by myself.
Okay.
Episode 1, done and dusted. We got through it. If
Hell
you're
yeah.
listening to this, you got through it as well. Congratulations. It was probably easier for you than it was for us. Fun fact of the day. Very glad to have that back. Good to get a win under my belt, I think. We'll confirm that next week. Can't wait for episode 2.
Yeah, same.
Alrighty, guys. See you next week.
See ya.
You've been listening to a Ben and Ham Soup production.